I'm in week 4 of my apnea training to see how it's going to affect me and how it's going to affect my Aikido, my martial arts, but also my daily living. Now, week 4 for me is I have 2 tables that I do. I have my oxygen tables and my carbon dioxide tables. And in the oxygen tables, I am resting or breathing for 2 minutes and then holding my breath for 45 seconds while I'm walking. So this is a dynamic static hold. Then on the carbon dioxide tables, I am breathing or resting, like the first set, I'll do a minute 50, then a minute 40, then a minute 30, all the way down to 30 seconds rest with a 45-second hold. And that's just to build up your CO2 tolerance, I believe. But actually, it's kind of interesting because breathing is the effect of getting carbon dioxide out of your body. So if you're breathing less between holds, you're supposed to be building up more carbon dioxide in your lungs, which makes it more painful. But I've experienced the opposite. Like with my oxygen tables, it's a little bit harder to hold my breath than with my carbon dioxide tables. But then that's the whole part about it, right? Because what's dangerous about holding your breath and hyperventilating before you hold your breath is that you're getting rid of all the CO2 in your system, so you're not feeling that pain in your lungs that you have to breathe, and then your oxygen levels are dropping, which you don't notice, and then you just suddenly pass out. Now, I haven't got to that point yet. I hope I never get there. I know that between 1.5 minutes to 2.5 minutes, that's like the range of when you can get there, but I'm only at 45 seconds, so we'll see. The whole purpose of this apnea training is to also experience the change in my body, how it's affecting my martial arts training, and how it's affecting my everyday life. The apnea training is supposed to increase your oxygen efficiency, which has all kinds of effects, right? Your mental clarity becomes better, which, by the way, I've noticed. Your sleep gets better, and that was the last video that I did was on sleep and how my sleep has improved over time. But my mental clarity has improved over time as well. I do notice that my Aikido practice has improved, and I'm beginning to see things in the techniques that I never saw before. And I'm pretty excited about that because I've been doing Aikido so long, and after you do it for so long, you don't really see improvement anymore, especially if you're teaching Aikido. But I'm actually seeing very large improvements in my techniques and my understanding of those techniques. So now I just want to get into a limit test. I want to see how long I can hold my breath statically. I remember in the first video that I did, I was able to hold my breath for 2 minutes and 6 seconds. And then all of a sudden, the next time I did a static breath hold test, I was only able to do like 1 minute and 46 seconds or something like that. So I was shocked. I mean, personally, I thought because of the training, I would be able to increase my time, but I couldn't. I'm going to take a second to now do my breath hold to see how long I can hold my breath. And then after that, I want to talk a little bit of some of the challenges that I've had recently with this whole training part. I mean, I've had some setbacks. I've had some walls that I've come against in trying to do this. The pain has not gone away. But let me talk about that more in depth when I finish my static breath hold. I'm pulling out my phone so we can time how long I can hold my breath statically. Today, I'm just going to sit right here in this chair, try to relax my body. Disclosure, today I did do apnea training like an hour ago. So my body should be a little bit more prepped for being able to hold my breath longer. And let's see if it works. So I'm going to take a deep, relaxing breath. Get all the oxygen out. Wow, sweating again. But I did increase my time today 2 minutes and 32 seconds. That is intense, man. That's like a mental game. I mean, I'm having these, what are they called? Diaphragmatic contractions, where my body is trying to breathe, but I'm holding my breath, and I feel my chest is moving. I'm excited because I did get to 2 minutes and 32 seconds. So I do feel an improvement. I think I could have held it a bit longer, but I'm not used to it because I'm not used to doing these long breath holds. I'm just doing 45 seconds while I walk, which is incredibly challenging. I'm like today, I didn't feel as much pain as I feel when I'm actually walking. Like when I'm walking, I feel pain in my chest. It feels like I'm going to die. I'm feeling this burning sensation. And I did not feel it at 2.5 minutes. I just had these like diaphragmatic contractions that are kind of uncomfortable. This is more like a psychological game. And that is where the mental strength, you're developing mental strength as you do these breath holds, which is great. It's kind of like focus, building focus, building concentration, and using your mind to accomplish something awesome. Let's talk about some of the challenges I've had over the week. I have noticed that it's been harder and harder to dedicate time to this training. I've got my app here, and though I do like breathing exercises almost every day, the actual 45-second breath holds, looking at my app, I only did twice that week. So I'm really disappointed about that. And that's one of the challenges. I've got so much on my plate. I'm doing so much. I get home, I'm exhausted. And then I think, oh man, I got to go outside and walk around and do this for 20 minutes, do these breath holds. So I did start trying to integrate it with my daily schedule. So when I go out for a shoot, and while I'm setting up my cameras, usually it takes me 20 to 30 minutes to set up my cameras and everything. And that's when I start doing my breath holding. It's just not as effective because I am not walking the whole time. Sometimes I'm stopping to screw my phone into the tripod and I'm not really moving. So I think it's not as effective as just constantly walking. So this coming up week, I'm going to try to focus on that, making sure I'm going to try to get at least 5 trainings in this week. And at the end of the week, I'll update you guys and let you know. As for what I've experienced this week, I have experienced an improvement in my Aikido, which is huge. I mean, doing Aikido for so long, it's sometimes very, very difficult to find that feeling of, oh, I'm getting better. It's just more like I'm just doing the same thing over and over and over again. But I did have some amazing insights into my Aikido last week. I do feel like my posture is better and I'm getting better sleep. Next week, so stay tuned because next week is going to be more challenging. I mean, I'm dying at 45 seconds. I wonder how I'm going to get a minute in. Next week, I'll be holding my breath for 1 minute and we'll see how that goes. I mean, that's going to be rather intense. I'm kind of worried about that, but I'll update you guys next week.